Good morning, everybody. Got your coffee? I got mine. Y'all are going to have to buckle up and buckle in because this morning's coffee, we got some things to talk about. But before we even go there and do that, I want to say thank you so much to Miss Shirley Reese for your generosity. I got another rather substantial donation the other day from another one of my followers. And putting those two donations together, well, you sent back to back. You sent one for coffee. And I know it was for coffee, but I overspent. And so, but I'll treat myself to some coffee. I promise you I will, because I'm getting low on it. As a matter of fact, I was just saying that to my husband. I was like, I just bought coffee. Are we low on coffee already? And he said, well, we drink a lot of coffee. You drink a lot of coffee. I usually drink 1 cup a day, but sometimes I will do 2 or 3, depending on what kind of day I'm having. Yeah, I guess I can't put it all on him. Plus, I like to treat myself to Dunkin' every now and again, too. Especially since, people send me extra coffee money. After I drop him off, it's just my little treat to myself. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I went on Amazon, and, it's getting close to Prime, so they have a lot of good deals. So I bought a bunch of books. I just shopped, and I mostly focused. I got some for women and women's health, but and I got some cookbooks because I am so shocked at how many of our younger people can't actually cook. And I can see if they want to cook healthier, because soul food is not, the way we cook and the way our mamas cook, isn't necessarily the healthiest way. And so a lot of younger black people are are becoming vegan and whatnot. But that's not what it is. A lot of young people are going to places like, what do you call it? The fast food restaurants. I'm really not big on fast food, believe it or not. I like my own kitchen. I'm a really good cook. And I just don't trust other people's kitchens. It's just me. I just don't. But, like, younger people just, and I'm not saying all young people, don't get on here and attack me. Y'all personalize everything. Everybody does. If you say something, they act as though you're speaking directly to them about them. And I know sometimes it can feel that way, but no. I just mean that there are a lot of young people who really just can't cook. And so that's why I put so many cookbooks on that wish list. Trust me when I tell you, I need a lot of things, but a cookbook ain't one of them. Anyway, listen, I spent early this morning looking for this one video that I did a few months back about TD Jakes. This video that I did on TikTok about TD Jakes was so controversial. I had to turn the comments off because I was being attacked so bad by black people. My people was coming for me. There are times when I say things or I do things and it'll be in truth and light. But black people, we have the hardest time, accepting the truth about other black people, especially when we view them as successful black people. And like I said, I get it. I understand it. We are protecting people who do not deserve our protection under the guise of protecting blackness. And a lot of us don't understand the distinction. If someone is a piece of shit, they're a piece of shit. And, we all get a gift, as far as I'm concerned. The creator, God, whatever you want to call your higher power, the supreme being, gives all of us a gift. No one is without a gift. And some gifts are very obvious. Like, some people can sing. Some people can dance. Some people can act. Some people are great designers and engineers. Everybody gets a gift. And for a long time, my gift was always there, but I never trusted it because it's the kind of gift that you get where people will gaslight you And so you won't trust yourself. I can remember being a little kid, and I used to steal these glances at my mother's first husband when he would work on his motorcycle, when he would work on his car. Now, mind you, this man was already beating the crap out of me every chance that he got, literally. And he was already psychologically abusing me. But I would look at him because it was always just something below the surface. Like, it was like something I felt like I could touch, but I couldn't. I didn't know what was there, but I knew something was there. And I would just at times look at him like he was a puzzle I was trying to figure out. And it was so much I couldn't understand. But I just knew. I can't tell you how I knew. And then when I turned 8 years old and my body started to develop, I knew. I had that missing piece, and I knew exactly who and what and how dangerous he was. I have always been able to look at people and see them. Just see them. And y'all know that I have a horrible relationship with my mother. And I can count the compliments that she has given me over the course of my life. I haven't spoken to her in about 14 years now. But over the course of my life, from birth to age 39, when I stopped speaking to her, how many compliments she's given me in my lifetime on one hand. That's why I remember them all, because they were so few and far between. And one thing that she always said about me was that you can't get much past her. And it's the truth. My husband struggled with that so much in the beginning of our marriage. And I'm cautious because he's a man, and men have egos. And he has just had to learn that I'ma just call a thing a thing. It ain't gonna be a whole lot you can slap past me. And I used to, when I would do that, when my much younger self would do it, people would gaslight me. They would call me crazy. They would call me the liar. They would just gaslight me. And and I wasn't strong enough to stand 10 toes deep on what it is I said or thought, or either I would never even say it because I know how bad I would be attacked for saying just the truth of what I actually saw. I remember when my brother married his first wife, and she was a PK. She was a preacher's kid, by the way, and her father was this respected preacher. And I was like, she ain't good people, and these ain't good people, and he shouldn't marry this girl because she gonna make him miserable. And I said it, and I felt like I had to say it. I felt like I owed it to my brother because I loved her. We had a very good relationship up until that point. We were very close. Long story short, I was right. That's another thing that my mother would tell you, that I was the first person to call her out on that. I know he got involved with another woman, and then I kind of kept my distance, and she went running to my mama saying, I don't feel like she likes me. And, and that was something that my mother told her. That was when she said what she said. It doesn't help that she called out she was the first one to call out his first wife, meaning me, and that how you can't get a lot past me. And I was right about that one too. I have one girlfriend that whenever I tell her this ain't the move, that really listens to me because I've never been wrong. I ain't saying I can't be wrong, but when it came to her, I was never wrong. I was always right. I see people. And TD Jakes, there was an incident when I broke away for good from the black church with my own pastor. Some money came up missing out of my purse. And I felt like he did it. I saw him doing it. I didn't physically see him doing it, but that discerning thing, I knew he did it. I knew he did it. But by this time, I was very vocal and outspoken, and I felt like he did it. Whole church, my mom was also a member of the church. Whole church came for me. Whole church turned against me. Long story short there, this man ended up, turns out he and another member of the church were getting grants. It was a really, nice black church. They were getting grants and loans against the church, and bankrupting the church. They almost lost their church. And then, to put a cherry on top of all of that mess, he broke into the church and stole all of everything that was, worth money. He almost brought this church down to its knees. And all they had to do was listen to me when I told them that he was a thief. So I'm going to post this video that I did over on TikTok. If you follow me on TikTok, I'll post it there, where I just told the truth about T.D. Jakes. And mind you, a lot of black people thought that I was attacking him because it was coming out that the whole power bottom thing. I don't care anything about T.D. Jakes' sexuality, whether he's in the closet, out the closet, whether he's actually gay, whether he's I don't care. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about that. Any of that. What I care about is the fact that you have these predatory people who use God to prey on other black people, to hurt and manipulate and steal from black people. Black people that don't have it. Black people that believe so deeply and so profoundly in this religion that was introduced to our people at the tip of a whip. And they are manipulated by people like T.D. Jakes into doing things, believing things, giving up their life savings because they think that somehow that will bring them closer to God. Man will not bring you closer to God. I would imagine faith would do that. Faith in whatever God you believe in. Because my faith in my ancestors is strong. And the stronger it gets, the more clearly I see people for who and what they really are. T.D. Jakes wasn't a hard nut to crack. If you step back and look at him, you can see that he ain't shit. You can see he ain't shit. It ain't hard. All you got to do is step back a little bit. Stop seeing this man as a representative of God. Stop seeing him as a symbol of God. Stop seeing him as a symbol of your faith. Because when you all start seeing them like that, then you can't see the wrong that they're doing to you. You can't see the harm that they're doing to you. Or maybe you can and you will dismiss it because you think that they are entitled because somehow you think something about them is godly and it's not. You think that you have to go into buildings in order to get closer to God. You think that you have to give away all your money in order to get closer to God. You think that going into a building, calling yourself a Christian, takes away all of your sin, and it doesn't. It doesn't make you a good human. It doesn't make you a better human. How you treat the next person does. I believe that we are all spirits having a human experience. Your humanity is what makes you good. And how you treat the next person's humanity is what makes you good. That's why I don't understand why all these racist white folks call themselves Christians and think that they're going to this magical heaven. I don't understand how that works. I don't know if they're saying that their God is racist too. I don't know what they're thinking. But how we treat people, and mind you, once I understood that and I made that connection, because I have treated people that I loved, brutally. I have. That is my reality. And that is why I try so hard to correct that, to do better, to be better, because that is why we are here. That's why we are all here. We're here to grow into better versions. And people like T.D. Jakes, these spiritual guides, I'm not saying all of them are horrible people. And I'm not saying that you can't learn from some of them. But you are supposed to use your common sense in all things. And if something doesn't feel right, if someone ain't coming across right, it is your divine right to question it. That's why you got common sense and a brain. Somebody say that they a person of God, a man of God, and y'all just give them all your worldly goods and you don't question anything. And now, all these black folks waking up this morning, and I noticed the divide is clear. It was really good to see some black people say, hey, we need to finally just call a thing a thing. Great. Exactly. Just call it what it is. Just call it. And then there's some of you all who are still defending this man. He was his spiritual leader, his spiritual counselor. He was at those parties just to, counsel him. That's something you do in an office, in a closed door session, one-on-one. That ain't something that you do with naked people and baby oil and drugs and liquor. That's not, where's your common sense at? Just your common sense. Just not even your best sense. Just your common sense. Where that's at? Your common sense. If it don't look right, question it. Don't let people gaslight you into believing that something is this when it's really that. This is why people get so angry with me and call me difficult. That's a running joke with my husband because, my family members think that I'm so difficult. I'm not a difficult person. I'm just a really hard person for people to manipulate. And so, to talk over, speak over, trick, fool. And so I've gotten a reputation as being difficult. And I'm not a difficult person. I'm very easy to get along with if you honest. I had to learn to be honest. I had to learn to deal with people, to show other people the grace that I wanted, the respect that I wanted. But if someone ain't right and something ain't right, call it what it is. And if you are a Christian, it's okay to be a Christian. Be whatever you want to be. I'm not a Christian, which is why I do delete all those comments where people keep putting, bringing their God and their scriptures into. I'm never going to let those comments through, because you are never, ever, ever going to use your God and your religion in order to control or manipulate me and my platform. It don't work like that. I don't believe in any of that. Trying to control me using your religion, a religion that I don't even believe in, instead of just being uncomfortable with the truth that I'm speaking. And it's not a lie. One of my toxic traits that's still left over from my days is that I love a good I told you so. I'm going to post that TD Jakes video over on TikTok so that y'all can take a look at it. But yeah, I had to turn the comments off that because, honey, black people came for me. But mind you, it was a lot of black people that had my back too. I don't know how people can look at TD Jakes, and I don't know, it's just so clear to me. When I see him, I see a charlatan. I see someone that is inherently dishonest. I see a deceitful person. I see someone who is intentionally deceitful, intentionally misleading people. It's just really clear to me. And I hate that it's not so clear to others. You know, white people use this guy and this religion in order to harm black people for generations, hundreds of years. And because so many black people want to do what they do, we back on this again. They have used this same religion to manipulate and hurt and harm other black people. So many black people have been harmed via Christianity. It's okay to think for yourselves. You know, they say if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you're going to burn in hell. That is, I firmly believe that is a lie that is told to you in order to control you. You know who loves Jesus? The man who molested me from the ages of 8 to 12. He would molest me, and then he would get down on his hands and knees, and then he would ask Jesus Christ to forgive him. I refuse to believe that man is going to go to heaven and that I am going to burn in hell. I refuse to believe that. Him being who he is and me being who I am. No one is going to convince me of that. And anyone trying to convince me of that, I feel like you are a monster too. I really do. I'm going to post that video over on TikTok. And if nothing else, whatever you believe in, I hope that you walk away knowing that it is okay to trust to question what doesn't make sense. You are not being disobedient to question what doesn't make sense. That is just something that someone who wants to control you wants you to believe in order to be able to continue to control you. Y'all have a good day. I'll leave the link to the library pantry down in the comments. If you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, or support the platform, I'll leave all that Cash App, Venmo information down there too. Again, Miss Shirley Reese, thank you so much. I was able to take what you sent along with what somebody else sent me a few days ago. And late last night, I was able to buy so many books. So they are on the way, especially coloring books, colored pencils, and stuff for the kids. Thank you so much. It went a long way, and I greatly appreciate you. Okay? Thank you. Y'all have a good day.